At first, it sounded like another rally roar. Loud, electric, built for viral clips. But something in the delivery hit different. An African opposition leader facing his Red Beret supporters. Not just critiquing a Western president, but issuing what felt like a final moral judgment. Not polite diplomacy. Not measured caution. A verdict. Donald Trump, whether he likes it or not, his term is coming to an end, and he is going to go to jail, unless he does the quickest thing and drink poison. Here was Julius Malema speaking as if the courtroom of history had reconvened, and the defendant was the former, and once again influential, U.S. leader. The target was Trump. But the subtext stretched far wider. International law, racial hierarchies, legitimacy, and who truly holds the right to judge global order. Was this reckless rage? Calculated positioning? Or a sign that a bolder generation in Africa no longer whispers when confronting Western power? Let's peel it back. Before the poison line landed and the crowd erupted, one sentence shifted the entire atmosphere. Malema didn't debate tariffs or troop deployments. He delivered a conclusion. Trump's era ends in judgment. Consequences are locked in. That framing changes everything. Historically, African leaders have been the ones dissected by credit agencies, Western headlines, ICC warrants, think tank reports. They were always under the microscope. In this moment, the lens reversed. The American ex-president became the one observed, condemned by an African voice. That's no minor flip. It's psychological reordering. For generations, Western leaders framed Africa as the problem: democracy shortfalls, corruption scores, instability warnings. The critique flowed north to south. Now Malema speaks as if moral authority isn't pinned to geography anymore, as if the global center of judgment has tilted. Most coverage fixates on the harsh words. They miss the audacity of the stance. Malema isn't campaigning to American voters or begging for diplomatic favor. He's addressing a domestic base that has watched global chaos, wars, sanctions, economic shocks, and increasingly sees powerful nations evading the accountability they demand from others. His day is coming, and we must not be worried about a man who speaks about politics, yet he knows nothing about politics. How do you say, "I don't follow international law, I follow my emotions"? What kind of politics are those? He's simply telling you his empty head. The only reason people respect him, Malema charged, is because he's white. But the deeper cut, the world will never forgive Donald Trump for what he did by destabilizing the whole world and undermining international law. By invoking international law, Malema does something clever. He casts his movement, and Africa broadly, as guardians of the rules. Ironic for a revolutionary firebrand? Yes. Strategic? Absolutely. It flips the script. We're not chaos agents. We're calling out the powerful for ditching the order they preach. That inversion reframes Africa, not as a troublemaker, but as a consistent stakeholder demanding fairness. And the inevitability, his day is coming, isn't courtroom prediction. It's historical gravity. Empires crumble. Apartheid fell. Dictators fade. In African political memory, power cycles end. Malema borrows that arc to suggest even the boldest figures face gravity eventually. But this isn't just global theater. It's domestic fuel. Attacking a towering Western symbol projects strength to his base. Trump becomes shorthand for unilateralism, racial double standards, transactional diplomacy. Malema's message: we aren't intimidated. Africa speaks without asking permission. That shift, who gets to judge whom, is the speech's true ignition point. Then comes the accusation. Trump governs by feeling, not law. What kind of politics declares international law irrelevant, that emotion is the guide? It sounds like mockery on the surface. Deeper, it's precise. For nations long on the receiving end of selective enforcement, interventions, sanctions, ignored sovereignty, international law isn't theory. It's a shield against raw might. When a powerful leader dismisses multilateral pacts, climate deals, or norms, it confirms old suspicions. Rules bind the weak, bend for the strong. Malema seizes that and reverses it. Africa becomes the voice of structure. The continent Western media often paints as fragile now claims the high ground of consistency. The critique widens. Unilateral withdrawals, weaponized sanctions, impulse over consensus. Whether you buy the framing, it echoes for audiences tired of double standards. And here's the contrast Malema draws. His fire is anchored in principle, ideology, law. He performs outrage but claims higher ground. Radical tone, structured argument. That balance is no accident. Then the line that explodes headlines. The only thing that makes people respect him is because he's white. Provocative? Designed to shock. But it taps centuries-deep memory. Global authority long wore a European face, colonial assumption, post-colonial institutions, media dominance. Whiteness intertwined with unearned legitimacy. Malema isn't policy debating here, he's confronting legacy. African leaders face intense scrutiny for slips. Western ones speak bluntly about Africa without penalty. That asymmetry fuels the charge. Dangerous terrain in post-apartheid South Africa, still healing racial wounds, economic divides along old lines. Deliberate too. Malema knows the memory runs deep. But he doesn't linger on race alone. He pivots. We don't fight white people, we fight white supremacy. That distinction saves the argument from collapsing into pure antagonism. White supremacy isn't skin, it's a system claiming entitlement to dominate. Targeting structure, not biology. In South Africa, that's existential. Transition avoided, collective blame. Malema can't sound like reversal. So he invokes internationalism, Marx, Lenin, white thinkers central to anti-imperial thought. How can a Marxist organization hate white people and love Karl Marx? Because Karl Marx was white. Lenin was white. Ideological insulation. The fight scales beyond South Africa to extraction, finance, alliances, sanctions. Structural, not personal. He denies white genocide, highlights black-white unity. Every white person who loves a fellow black brother is our brother. We will do everything in our power to defend those white people who love South Africa. Fiery language, theoretical base. Reassures moderates, signals no expulsion agenda. Then instruction, door-to-door explanation. In viral clip era, context dies fast. Opponents clip phrases. So decentralized narrative, grassroots repetition. Classic liberation organizing. Unions, anti-apartheid networks survived hostile media this way. He anticipates backlash, arms the base to defend. Populism needs structure, emotion needs organization. Malema balances ignition and infrastructure. Finally, unity and discipline. Every white person who loves South Africa is our brother. Stabilizer, calms economy moderates. But the close isn't fury. It's thanks for discipline. Not anger, not loyalty, discipline. That word reframes all before it. Discipline means structure, hierarchy, long-term planning. Rage without discipline fizzles. Discipline anchors strategy. Geopolitically, this signals shift. African actors long portrayed as reactive to sanctions pressure. Here, Malema defines, judges, instructs, organizes. Assertive posture. Generational confidence. No more cushioning criticism of Western power. Psychological barriers thin. Psychological power shifts precede structural ones. Ending in discipline positions the movement as organized challenger, not chaotic, but controlled. The real weight isn't the insult or provocation. It's the confidence to speak upward and the calm to end with control. That combination is strategic. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with any of it? Want more on Black culture, history, civilization, and untold stories? Subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We're amplifying voices and legacies that matter. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.